that being said, don't underestimate how hard these clay BBs are. Please don't shoot your friends. I shaved my mustache. Did you recognize me? Not that any of you people care, but you probably only recognize me as mustache guy from Crate Club or mustache guy from the internet ads that won't leave me alone. I had that silly mustache for like 2 years. So of course, when I was active duty, I couldn't have facial hair. Technically, you can have like a small mustache in the Army when you're active duty, but it didn't look good on me, and generally speaking, officers were not supposed to have them. So I never had one. Then I got out of the Army and a buddy of mine was like, hey, let's grow mustaches. And I was like, I'm down. And it just started out as a joke, but then it ended up being a joke that lasted like 2 years. And the wild thing is like how many relationships I've built in the last 2 years since leaving the military, and how many people I've gotten to know, but they only know me as like weirdo mustache guy, even though this is like my real face. Anyway, I thought I'd miss it, and for like the first 5 minutes, I was like, what have I done? But then after that, I very much felt like myself again. I think I was just meant to be clean shaven, so here we are. No mustache. Let's get to business. So this is supply drop number 26. As always, there are 4 ways to join our community. There are 3 month-to-month options. Those are the lieutenant, the captain, and the major, which is right here. And we do have 1 quarterly option that's gonna show up at your doorstep 4 times per year, and that's the general. I love opening the major because it comes every single month, and it's the most amount of stuff that you can get at your doorstep every 30 days, or approximately every 30 days, right? So a lot of cool stuff to show you. This is supply drop number 26. I'm excited to show you what's going on in here. Let's get started. As always, we include these little booklets in here. I write these. It's just a short description of each of the items that's in your box. Read it if you want, or don't read it if you don't want. I do put time and energy into consolidating a thorough description of what these goods are and the important pieces of information I think you should know before attempting to use them or engage them inside your life in any way. So anyway, check it out if you want to. The first item, we're just gonna start off strong. We're going with a gas mask off the rip. The PD-101 Full Face Respirator Gas Mask. A champion amongst contenders for industrial-level respiratory protection, the PD-101 is the premier choice for complete defense against environmental hazards. Parcel Safety's PD-101 Full Face Respirator comes with an industry-standard bayonet-style filter attachment, allowing for easy interchangeability with other top filter brands, including 3M. The PD-101 provides heavy-duty protection while remaining comfortable for all-day use. Weighing right around 2 pounds with the filters attached, the PD-101 is perfect for users working in harsh or uncomfortable conditions who prioritize a functional and comfortable fit. We're going full Walter White. If you don't know who that is, you need to watch Breaking Bad. It's pretty good. So there's a million different gas masks out there. We do like this one a lot. One is because how light it is, how comfortable it is, what it protects you from, as well as the field of vision associated with this thing. So you've got a full 200 degrees field of vision here, which is a lot when you're inside the thing. You can look up, down, left, right. You don't feel like you're inside of a periscope in any way. Great field of vision. It does come with 2 filters that are not gonna be attached when you pull it out of your box. Simple, you twist and you pull, it comes right off. You'll notice that there are 3 notches on the inside. One of those notches is gonna be smaller than the other 3. You simply line that up with the smallest notch on your face respirator, and it's gonna click right in. Oh, just like that, super easy. Like we said in the description there, they're gonna send you 2. These 2 are great. They're gonna last a long time, but if you ever want replacements, you don't have to get them directly from Parcel Safety. You can go to 3M or whatever filters are out there. Also important to note, the actual date, the expiration date for these filters is gonna be on the side here. Now look, I totally acknowledge that that's subjective. If you're using this already out of the box heavily every day, that filter's not gonna last until 2028. But if you're not using it and 2028 happens to roll around, it's probably time to replace those filters, even if you never used it. So let's put this thing on. You have a 5-point harness around the head, super easy. Simply pull on the straps, and you're locked in. I assume you can still hear me. Yeah, I can see the mic activating. You can still hear me, which is another awesome function of this face respirator, because there's a lot of them out there. They don't have this, they don't take into account communication, right? And be able to communicate with people, especially in a hazardous environment or extreme scenario, being able to talk with the person next to you is very important. Also, if you've never used a face respirator or gas mask before, the key test is ensuring that you have a proper seal. So after you don your face mask, what you do is take the palms of your hands, cover up the filters, and suck.
As you can see, there's no air coming in through the sides of my mask. You can see it suctioning to my face. If you can put your palms over the filters and suck, no air should come in. If you feel air leaking in through the sides, then you need to make adjustments.
Also important to note, if you have a beard, you're going to have a very difficult time creating a good seal. Sorry, it is what it is. Technically it's possible. If you get like Vaseline or some other like thick oily substance, you could apply enough around your face to where then you could create a seal with that Vaseline, but that's kind of a miserable experience to get all over your face and your beard, and probably not a step you want to take in an emergency situation. It's just something to be aware of. So, times and places that this gas mask is appropriate. Consider pesticide application or home pest control, painting, warehouse use, construction, mining, agricultural applications. Also, if you're in a chemical lab, I made the Walter White joke earlier, but seriously, if you're in a chemical lab, you could use something like this. And then last but not least is disaster relief. Even if those first 8 to 10 scenarios don't apply to you, disaster relief is something that's on the forefront of a lot of our minds, kind of depending on where you live and how seriously you take preparedness. But this is something that you really should have on hand, and it could save your life someday. I know the big question is, well, what does it protect you from? And that is a valid question that you should be asking. So on their website, they state specifically, this product filters organic vapors and 95% of particulates down to 0.3 microns. 0.3 microns. Do with that information what you will. There's a million things we could talk about that this does or does not protect you from, but what you need to know is the scenarios in which it is safe to use. If you go on their website, they actually have a document. It's like an 8-page document with hundreds of chemicals and vapors and particulates that this does protect you from. It is way much for me to begin talking about, much less memorize and try to present to you, but this is a fantastic product. It's worth looking into and knowing what you're protected against and what you're not. It's a great product. Make sure you put your filters on correctly and make sure you do a functions test. Don't do a functions test when there's a chemical in the air that could kill you. Practice it, throw it on, seal it up tight, do a functions test, make sure you're good to go. Moving on. This right here. Cardimax Energy Supplement. This blue raspberry flavored, sugar-free, calorie-free liquid energy supplement is designed to boost your performance during a workout or to power you throughout the workday. The Cardimax Energy Intensifier is the perfect on-the-go addition to your gym bag, day bag, or backpack. Containing caffeine, BCAAs, B3, B6, and B12, one serving is all you need to kick things up a notch and attack the day. So this brand, Cardimax, you guys know we do this all the time. Anytime we have the chance to, 1, feature an American-made product, 2, feature a veteran-owned product, or even better, a veteran-owned product that is made in America, we make the effort to do so because those people matter to us. That's our community. That's you guys. That's us. That's what we do. The owner of Cardimax is a guy named Sean Matson, who is a former Navy SEAL. Badass, smart guy, well-spoken, knows what he's doing in the business world, and went about making this supplement. So I've actually met Sean. I met him at SHOT Show. He and I have been exchanging messages on Instagram for like 2 years. He sent me product like 2 years ago, and I have been using this stuff ever since. So it's really cool for me to have started working with Crate Club and be able to interject these products into this box. So what you're looking at is a pouch full of these sticks right here. This is a single-use stick, and all you do is rip off the top, squirt it into a water bottle or shaker cup, shake it up, drink it, and you're good to go. Caffeinated right there. What's beautiful about this is the on-the-go aspect of it. So no joke, I don't leave the house without one of these things like within arm's reach. I've got a couple in my glove compartment. I keep them in my gym bag. When I travel, I fill them in my toiletry bag, in a backpack, whatever it is. I'll admit, I've got a little bit of a caffeine addiction, but like, it's nice to be able to have this in your hand instead of reaching for an energy drink, which is not a healthy option, or standing in line for Starbucks, which is gonna take you 30 minutes for an overpriced coffee. This is now in your hands, it's at your front door, and all you have to do is throw 1 or 2 in your pocket, squirt it into a water bottle, and you're good to go. It's got enough caffeine to matter, but like not so much that you're gonna be seeing sounds and hearing colors. Like it's not that miserable heart palpitations experience. It's just enough to get you going for a workout, to attack the workday, whatever it is, get you through that afternoon slog. We've all been there. I love these things. I stand by them. I stand by Sean Matson. He makes really cool stuff. He owns another company called Matbach, which specializes in some really, really high-end tactical gear. So go check those guys out. I hope that you find use for this product. I know for a fact that I'm gonna be taking this later today and probably throughout the weekend. The Cat Tongue Non-Abrasive Gription, designed to provide grip when and where it's needed most. Gription is the go-to solution for preventing unwanted slippage at home, at work, or on the go. Featuring 2-inch wide glow-in-the-dark tape, Gription adheres to any slippery surface and won't interfere with wireless chargers or magnetic mounts. This grip tape is non-abrasive, waterproof, eco-friendly, and allergy and irritant-free. It is also made of HDPE plastic, meaning it's soft, lightweight, flexible, super strong, and impact resistant, making it far superior to rubber or latex alternatives. So this stuff wasn't like an immediate winner for us. We had to like kind of think about it, kind of play with it, and then it became a very, very clear yes for us for the team here at Crate Club. So this is the sample roll that they sent me. I will say up front, once you unpackage this thing, it's gonna be very hard to get it to go back together. It's not sticky on the inside like a regular roll of tape is, where it sticks to itself, and whenever you need to stop unrolling it, you clip it and seal it back shut. This is not sticky on the inside. It does have sticky, but you have to peel it off like double-sided tape. So I've been using my infinity tool to keep the remainder of this roll from coming undone. But I just think it's funny because people always stop to comment on our social media posts and they're like, okay, it's a bracelet. What, is it really useful? It's the infinity tool, but it doesn't do anything. Well, here's one more use for the infinity tool. But this is what it's gonna look like coming in your box. This stuff is great. It's non-abrasive and non-slip. So the number of places that you could use this is limited only by your imagination. Just to start, some of the things you could use this for is anywhere you don't want slippage, right? Think about underneath rugs, underneath furniture, underneath your laptop so it doesn't slip off your desk. The same thing for a keyboard. Think about maybe the elderly person in your life who has a wheelchair or a walker or a cane. Slippage is actually like a lethal threat for elderly people, and it's a very sad situation, but a little extra grip could go a long way. You could apply this to that walker. You could apply this to sports equipment like a hockey stick or a golf club or a tennis racket. And I understand that there's alternatives out there, right? There's like actual grip tape, but this would still work. I also think about like outdoor activities such as hunting and fishing, right? There are slippery surfaces on boat docks and boat ramps. How nice would it be to be able to lay down some additional grip on those walking surfaces? And not only that, it glows in the dark so you can see what's going on. You can see what you're stepping on. You can see what you're trying to grab in the dark. You could put this on handrails. You could put this in your car, whatever it is, right? And it's glow in the dark, which is old technology, but like it's a very, very effective glow in the dark. You know, I put this thing under a lamp for like 20 minutes and then flipped the lights off, and it was so bright it actually illuminated the little room that I was in. So multi-purpose gripping solution. It's great. You got 10 feet of it, 2 inches wide, very much like standard duct tape. When you unroll it, just acknowledge that there's going to be an interior side to it, right? Just like two-sided tape. Once you unroll it, you're gonna have a liner on the inside that has to be peeled off before you can get started. But this stuff's great. And then of course, lastly, you could put it on, tools, you could put it on your drills, you could re-grip that old hammer that's been slipping out of your hands for the last 8 to 12 years, whatever it is, right? Plenty of solutions, plenty of options. Very excited to see what you guys decide to do with this thing and in what ways the glow-in-the-dark aspect becomes useful for you. The Simple Shot Scout X. One slingshot to rule them all. The Scout X is an all-in-one high-performance slingshot frame designed to be the last slingshot you'll ever want to use. Created over the course of 18 months by world-renowned slingshot engineer Mark Seljan, the Scout X is a new and improved version of the Scout XT, which hit the market back in 2012 and proved to be a fan favorite for over a decade. The Scout X is reminiscent in all the best ways of the original Scout XT, but now presents modern styling and an entirely new integrated functionality. Accommodating both over-the-top or through-the-fork configurations, the Scout X serves as a tool, a weapon, and endless entertainment. So I imagine one of the last things you expected to arrive in your Crate Club crate was a slingshot, but I think it's gonna prove to be one of your favorite items. It doesn't matter if you're a kid or a teenager or an adult, slingshots are awesome. I got to test this thing like months back. In fact, the B-roll that you're about to see shows me with a mustache, which shows how old that B-roll is, but we finally got it in the box and we love this thing. So it's not gonna come with the actual sling or the rubber parts already installed. You're gonna have to do that yourself, but it's super simple. You will notice that on the handle of your slingshot, it's gonna come with a small hex tool, which stays attached via 550 paracord, and I love that. You can use that hex key to then install the rubber slings and then tighten them accordingly. So it fits right in the top here, super easy. Here's your hex key, and this is where it goes in order to loosen or tighten the actual rubberized pieces. Well, look, I'll be honest, like, I owned slingshots as a kid. It was nothing like this. I imagine this is a whole world that I was just unaware of until we started researching this brand and the Scout X specifically. Like we mentioned, this was actually created by a world-renowned slingshot engineer. The guy is like deep. This is like what he does with his life. And this is what he made. Now there's all sorts of options where you can have wrist support and there's different sizes and, you know, tensile strengths and all sorts of stuff. But this is like the most bang for your buck and could be used by a beginner or a professional slingshotter. This thing is so much fun. And one of the appealing aspects of this product is not only is it a very, very well put together and thought out and designed slingshot, but they give you so much stuff to get you started. No additional materials are needed to go outside and start having fun with this thing. So you'll notice that they hit you with some ads. You've got a sticker, you've got the warning label, you don't need that. You've also got a target. I thought this was kind of genius because one side is an advertisement and the other side of the postcard is actually a target for you to get started. We've also hooked you up with both steel and clay BBs. And what's interesting is that we provided you with with two different bands, one that is meant to be used with clay BBs and one that's meant to be used with steel BBs. You could use them interchangeably, but you know, give it a shot, see what the difference is. Also something to be aware of, like, think about what you're shooting at, where these BBs are gonna end up going, you know, if and when you miss your target. Of course, like, metal came from the earth, so it's kind of littering, but it's kind of not. If you want to shoot your BBs in the forest and they lay there, it's probably not gonna cause any problems. But if you are somewhere and you want to be conscious of where your BBs are ending up, that's where the clay BBs come into play. Because once you shoot them, they're gonna get dissolved by the rain and then absorbed back into the earth and not cause any problems. That being said, don't underestimate how hard these clay BBs are. Please don't shoot your friends. This is not a toy. It is, but it isn't. It could be very dangerous in the wrong hands. Especially if you take this thing and you trim 2 to 3 inches off the end of these bands, which is gonna create a significant amount of tightness. This thing goes from like a mildly dangerous toy to a genuine weapon. If you shorten these bands and then put a metal BB in there and then pull this sucker all the way back, it is a rocket. They come flying out. I put a hole in my wife's patio furniture on accident. That was not on purpose, but it happened, you know, product testing. So there's all sorts of people out there, they'll tell you that, you know, this method's better than that method, there's the through the fork and over the whatever. Try it out, have fun. Like, I mean, if any of you guys are experts, like, let me know, like, why you do certain things instead of other methods, what your techniques are. I've had so much fun, and it's also amazing how easy it is to get good at this thing. I fired maybe 2 BBs before I was consistently hitting a plastic bucket in my backyard from like 25, 30 feet away. And then we started backing it up to like 55, 60 feet, and still, it's just automatic. You can't miss. I don't know what makes it so easy. You would think that there's like a lot of play and like the deviation of your shots, but there's not. It's incredibly consistent, it's incredibly easy, and it's so much fun. So congratulations, if you weren't a slingshot owner before, you are now. So have fun. First you can get caffeinated, and then you can don your respirator mask, and then you can go in the backyard and start shooting BBs. I don't think your neighbors are gonna ask any questions about that scenario whatsoever, but have fun. Why do we put so many things in this box? The Motley Tube by Zan Headgear. The Motley Tube is a versatile all-in-one headgear constructed of polyester elastane and brushed treatment. This product, part of the Zan Headgear Sport Flex series, is heavier than the standard lineup but still offers a high level of softness and comfort. Perfect to wear as a balaclava, face mask, neck warmer, scarf, beanie, or ear warmer, the Motley Tube is lightweight, machine washable, and offers UV protection. We've all seen these. If you never owned one, they're super convenient. Just for keeping sun off of your face, like we said, there is UV protection here. So it keeps the sun off of your cheeks and your ears. You can use this for hunting, you can use this for fishing. If you're gonna be exposed to the sun, instead of having to apply layer after layer of sunscreen that you're probably gonna sweat off, you can just slide one of these up over your face, pair that with a hat and sunglasses, and you're perfectly protected. It's breathable, it's comfortable, it's stretchy, it's machine washable, it's everything you want in this type of product, and it's everything you want in this type of product. Of course, there was a million colors we could choose from. I think we get so stuck in like green and black and tan. We decided to opt for something a little bit different here, so we got the Real Tree design. Real Tree original. I remember one time I was working this Boy Scout event. It was like an Eagle Scouts event. Yeah, I was working this like Boy Scout event. I don't remember what I was doing, but this kid came up to me and I'd have to like spend a few minutes with him, right? And I just was like, hey man, where are you from? What do you like to do? And then this kid was like, I was like, hey man, where are you from? He goes, I'm from Alabama. I was like, that's cool. What's your favorite color? He said, Real Tree. I never forgot that. Favorite color is Realtree. So hopefully this balaclava or face mask is your favorite color, original Realtree. There's so much stuff in here. The SOG entrenching tool. Ah, the beloved E-tool. Anyone familiar with an entrenching tool knows that it's more than just a shovel. Featuring both a saw edge and a pickaxe, the E-tool can be used for digging, cutting, prying, and so much more. Whether you're setting up a camp, clearing a path, building a fire pit, or digging a fighting position, SOG's E-Tool's got you covered. And thanks to its classic foldable design, this entrenching tool can easily be stored in your backpack, rucksack, vehicle, or emergency kit. Many deem this little shovel as an essential addition to outdoor gear. If you've never seen an E-Tool, this is it. I would say this one is slightly smaller than the other options that are out there. It is a little bit smaller than the standard issue one that you're gonna get if you're military service, but I like that because it's just slightly more manageable. Also, normally they fold in half. This one actually has 2 joints, which means it folds into thirds. All you do is extend this thing, twist, which is gonna cinch it shut. Now you have a rigid surface and a perfectly functional shovel. Don't underestimate this. The value of having a shovel out in the field is great, like just from the camping perspective, right? Sometimes you want to clear some brush in order to lay down, to start a fire pit. Maybe it's because you need to handle some business and you don't want to just crap on the ground. You want to dig a little hole first, crap in the hole, and then cover it back up. That's what you're going to use your E-tool for. It's got a super comfortable handle, very, very sharp edge here, and it does have this sawtooth edge on one side, which could be used for a multitude of reasons. And what's even cooler about this one is if you loosen it back up, flip it around, and it goes from being just a shovel to an actual pickaxe. And that is a feature that we haven't seen in any other E-tools that we've looked at. And this again is like a very, very hard edge. You have all sorts of things you could do with this edge here. But I love that this tool is small. I love that it's sturdy and trustworthy. I love how easy it is to go from a folded position to a functional position. And it offers both a shovel and a pickaxe. That is such a cool combination. But yeah, here, you got an E-tool. This thing is useful. I hope you use it. Put it in your emergency bag, take it camping, take it to the field. It's a great option. And of course, it just folds perfectly. Bada bing, bada boom. We've got 2 more items from Revive and Rebel, the Hydro Hater Spray. Hydro Hater is the war cry your sports and outdoor gear has been craving. Rain, snow, and mud don't stand a chance. Hydro Hater doesn't just repel water and mud, it wages war against it. Safe for use on Gore-Tex, event fabrics, nylon, polyester, canvas, and more, Hydro Hater is perfect for creating a water-resistant coating on all your gear. Simply hold the bottle 6 to 12 inches away from the item you intend to spray, coat it generously, and allow it to fully dry. Always check for missed spots and feel free to apply additional layers of protection. All right, this stuff was borderline controversial here in our little testing center. When somebody wants to be in our crate, we're like, all right, well, send us a product, prove that it's worth our time and money. And this stuff first showed up, it actually didn't impress anybody, and I will explain why that happened. So when I first got it, for whatever reason, my first thought was running shoes. So I own multiple pairs of running shoes, and the worst thing that can happen is getting rained on and having to run with wet feet and soggy, heavy shoes. Miserable experience all around, 10 out of 10 would not recommend. So that was the first thing I attempted to spray, and I was gonna do a little bit of an A/B test where I took my one running shoe and I coated it with the Hydro Hater spray, and then I left one shoe untreated to see if it actually made a difference. So I sprayed it generously, let it dry, and then put a water hose on it, and it soaked it completely. Like it was as if this wasn't even there. So I reached out to the owners actually, and they were super responsive, super nice about the whole thing. I was like, hey man, am I missing something? And he was like, I totally understand why you attempted to use your running shoes first, but there's a reason that we don't actually mention running shoes on the label here. The thing with running shoes is they are meant to be breathable in order to keep your foot cool and dry, and so they're very, very porous. They're so porous, in fact, that this product cannot create a film on that fabric. So that was not the right use for this product. So then I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna try it on a paper towel, which is still like arguably a porous material, but it's more solid than the fabric that is on my shoes. So I coated a paper towel with this stuff, threw it in a plate of water, and it floated. So you can see here, I did like a 1990s or early 2000s Billy Mays style test here. It looked like a Billy Mays infomercial. I never thought I'd be here in life, but here I am. So I threw one untreated paper towel into a bowl of water, and then I threw one treated piece of paper towel into a bowl of water. And sure enough, the treated piece was completely water resistant. It floated on top of the water. I was even sticking my hand onto that paper towel, trying to push it into the water, and it's completely water resistant. So once we realized where this was appropriate, it started to make sense. Like we mentioned, there's Gore-Tex materials, and a lot of these things are water resistant. You can take water resistant materials and make them completely waterproof with this product right here. There are other shoes out there that would make sense for this. If you own like a pair of boots that are mostly leather, this would be a good option. My wife, for example, I got her a pair of like Air Force Ones for Valentine's Day. Those things are mostly like a leather or fake leather material, right? They're not fabric-y like running shoes. She coated it in this material and it was fine. Like she's been wearing them for a couple of weeks now and they look like they just came out of the box. This stuff is amazing, it really is. Keys to success, please listen closely. Spray the out of it. I'm talking 15, 20, 30 sprays, let it dry, and then spray it again. Be liberal with it and apply multiple layers. And then sure enough, this stuff will work. Whatever you're coating will suddenly float on water. It's amazing. So hopefully you guys do find good reasons to use this stuff. It works, it really does work, but just make sure you use it liberally. Spray it as much as you can and let it dry. Panther Vision Flat Eye Rechargeable FR 150 Flashlight. So Flat Eye, we're not pointing fingers. They were kind to us. They sent us samples, we tested their products, and it worked fine. It was great. We were like, yep, this is a great product. We like it because it's so small and so simple. It's very much like it's the same size and shape as a pocket lighter, like a Bic lighter. They've even got this pistol grip is what they call it, which is super comfortable. It's got the knurling on there and it does actually kind of remind me of a pistol grip. It fits in your pocket super comfortably. They call it non-round because most flashlights out there are round. USB rechargeable, 3 light settings, no pocket clip, which is fine because it's actually just gonna fit deep in your pocket. And you don't even notice it's there, it's so small and comfortable. Unfortunately, many of them don't work. The samples worked. We bought a couple thousand of them, sent them out to our people who trust us to make good decisions. Unfortunately, the flashlight doesn't work. And we've already heard from many of our customers, they're reaching out to us and they're like, yo, dude, you sent us a broken flashlight. And here I am. I am also here with a broken flashlight, and that sucks, and I'm sorry. Like, seriously, I'm sorry. This singular product is not representative of Crate Club or the products that we've sent out in the past or will send out in the future. And Flat Eye was very apologetic. They're like, hey, sorry, you know, it happens, but like, it happened a little too much. There's a little too many problems that occurred. So if you ended up with a faulty flashlight, from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry. That being said, reach out to our customer service team and we will fix the problem, okay? Don't go reaching out to Flat Eye like they're dealing with a lot of customers, right? We are Flat Eye's customer. If you reach out to our customer service team, we will get you a new flashlight or refund you if possible. CS, you know, customer service has their own methodologies for solving things, but just listen to me. We will take care of you. We will right this wrong, and I'm sorry that you might have ended up with a non-functioning flashlight. That being said, if you actually ended up with a functioning flashlight, good for you, because I'm joking. But that's it for me. That wraps up supply drop number 26. That was the Major Crate. As always, we've got 3 options: Lieutenant, Captain, Major, General. You can upgrade or downgrade at any time. You can skip a month. If you want to refer a friend, you can gift a singular box. You know, we've got some significant events coming up. If there's someone in your life you think, you know, might be interested in this kind of stuff, just buy them a box. Just buy them one. And then before you know it, they might get hooked and they're gonna become a member of this cool, kick-ass community. As always, my name is Austin. I'd love to hear from you guys. Please interact with all of our social media channels. We're on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. We love to hear from you. If you are a subscriber and you're not a member of our Facebook members only page, come join us. It's where we go talk about the contents of this box. We talk about survivability. I always say iron sharpens iron, and that is the place where iron comes to get sharpened. But that's all for me. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you soon.